Good afternoon. Today we have Sanjay sir with us, who have secured rank 268 in CSE 2024. So please introduce yourself.
Right. As you said, Romila, my full name is Sanjay Srinivasan. And basically, I'm from Coimbatore and I started my preparation in 2017. Then, after I tried some of the examinations conducted by the local Public Service Commission. And in 2019, I started working with the Forest Department as forester. Then I was in Group 2 as Assistant Inspector in Labor. So I'm a candidate who was preparing and as well as working. So in the mid times, I just dropped out of the preparation. Then I got back, and this is my fifth attempt in prelims and second mains and first interview. So this is
Okay.
my short introduction of my journey.
Okay, sir. So what was your reaction when you saw your name in the finalist? What was the first thought? What was the feeling?
Actually, I was prepared either to it may come or it may not come. That is the possibility. So I was prepared and balanced. So
Okay.
it was mild reaction only, very subtle and mild reaction. So people surrounding me, they were celebrating more than.
Yes, they would be celebrating, sir. So what inspired you to enter the UPSC journey?
Yeah. Basically, I had this volunteering experience with many NGOs during the college years. So that is when I developed interest in public service and public administration. And that was one motivating factor which drove me towards picking up civil service as a career option.
Okay, sir. And the credit of your success goes to?
Credit, I cannot take the single credit alone. There are so many faculties who helped me and motivating factors from my parents, my friends, and my colleagues. Everything with the continuous hard work and perseverance that we aspirants put in. So it is a combination of all these.
Okay, so that's good to hear. So in brief, when did you start, number of your attempts and your experiences with it? Would you like to
Yeah,
tell us? Yes, sir.
I started right after passing out from my college in 2017,
Okay.
and as I said earlier, I had six total attempts. This is my fifth attempt in
Mhm.
prelims and second mains and my first interview. So in the middle path, I just dropped out of preparation because I was underprepared and I did not attend the prelims. Then I got back and couple of times I could not clear the CSAT paper by 1 or 2 marks. So again in 2024, the prelims got cleared and that is how this result has I've landed up here.
Okay, sir. So what were your learnings from your previous attempts, and how did you improvise upon them?
The major learnings were that sometimes we are underprepared and sometimes we don't follow the newspapers itself because I
Hmm.
was, as I told earlier, I was working. So balancing both was a tough thing. So the continuous perseverance that every day little efforts are required. You cannot just crack the examination by following 1 month alone the current affairs or the PT alone. So you need a
Hmm.
regular preparation every day. So that is what I learned. You cannot just go in the last month and crack it up. So you have to put in efforts daily. That daily effort, that touch that you have with the preparation, that matters most.
Okay, sir. On that note, I would like to ask, sir, there are many aspirants who are actually working and preparing, and you are one of them. So, how did you handle your professional work as well as your studies?
Yeah, like working aspirants, it is quite tough to balance both. So
Mhm.
one thing is on the weekends, as far as possible, we can stretch out our preparation time in the weekends on
Mm.
Saturdays or Sundays. That is one thing. And at least going through the newspapers and the current affairs daily on a regular basis, in the evenings or in the morning times. Some aspirants prefer to study in the night. Some prefer to do it in the mornings. So at least to 2 to 3 hours daily, either in the morning or evening after or before the work times. That would help.
Okay, sir. So, what was your approach for prelims?
I think major factor that helped me clear prelims was going through the PYQs, analyzing them, and getting insights from where the trap is being placed by the UPSC. That is the most important factor. Apart from after every aspirant goes through the basic foundation course, the second important thing is analyzing and taking inputs from the PYQs and preparing yourself for the next year.
Okay, sir. And sir, what role did test series
Yeah,
played
like
in your preparation?
yes, test series in the initial periods of preparation, test series are very important because you have to manage your time. Management of time is very important. And sometimes we end up sharing the wrong answers, or we end up doing some silly mistakes and all. So, which we can overcome with test series. And the later days and all, I don't get much time to put the test series. In the starting period, we get when we are in full time preparation, we get time to do that all. But once we are working, that is very difficult. So again, I followed the PYQs majorly.
Okay, sir. And the your strategy for mains?
For mains, there is this optional and the GS papers in essay. So with GS, I think with the prelims knowledge, majority of your part is covered. Only thing is we have to go through little bit of new concepts and ethics, and in GS one world history we have to go through, and the rest of the part majorly from the prelims itself we can cover the GS. And second thing is optional. My optional was history, for which I went through the PYQs again. I took the
Okay.
material of self-study history and their PYQs. So I just went through only the PYQs, and I also went through major topper answer sheets. So how they presented, how they tackle the unknown questions. So all those things again we take inputs from the toppers answer sheets, and the last 10 years of mains questions, previous year questions for mains, that also I go through. These are major inputs that I put in.
Okay, sir. And sir, on as you have seen the topper answer sheets, so what is your take on answer writing, the importance of presentation there?
Yes, obviously everybody has content, but how you deliver it, and how far you're able to put the content in a short period of time, how far you're able to recollect them and produce them in the paper, that matters the most. So your answer should be succinct, and at the same time, you have to be addressing the demand of the question also. So that is very important. And as people say, answer writing is an art which we can develop over a period of time. So balancing with the content and also the data. Sometimes data we can put in. Sometimes many say for introduction and conclusion we can have some quotes or data. So all these things, it's a combination of all these things. It's like a salad that you put in your answer.
Okay, sir. Will you tell us your approach for your interviews? Like, how did you prepare for them? The things
Yeah.
that you did to improvise yourself.
So with respect to interview, there is no single format. So it varies according to every candidate, their background and their DAF applications. So I attempted many online mocks for interviews and also some offline mocks for interviews. Basically, I had this inbuilt fear in addressing the questions of the panel members. So with repeated attending of mocks, that fear somewhere we can overcome them and be able to express ourselves in a more. Sometimes we end up answering very long answers, or sometimes we don't address the question. So all these things they point out in mocks, so we start improvising upon them. So that is how we improvise in interview preparation.
Okay, sir. And how Kalam has helped you?
Yeah, I attended the online 2-to-1 session here, and that is when I realized I was highly underprepared for the interview preparation. I was not thoroughly prepared with at least my DAF, detailed application forms. That is where the majority of the questions the board members put up. And even with that, I was found to be underprepared. So that was an eye opener for me. After which I took some holidays and I had to go to in depth of my DAF application. In that way, it was an eye opening mock session.
Oh, so we are glad we could help you. Will you suggest something for the aspirants that are appearing this year? As you know, only few days are left for the prelims examination.
Yeah, I think they should stop accrediting the content, revise what they have already gone through, And if they find time, they can put some test series, improvise upon them, and go through
Mhm.
PYQs, not to dump more content. So revise the basics and go through PYQs.
Okay, and so what would you advise for the students who are just starting their preparation or in college and starting their preparation or just there?
Yeah, for students who are starting the preparation, first of all, they should have the mindset that it is going to be a lengthy process. It can be 1 year, 2 year, or in my case, 8 years. So they must be prepared for the long journey. If at all it takes longer, they must be prepared for it and have a time schedule. You don't waste your time. So have a schedule in which you can plan things accordingly. And for those who are starting nowadays, they can also start preparing for their optional also by side, so that if they clear the prelims, it will be easy for them to attempt the mains also. So take some notes, have your own handwritten notes, so that it will be handy when you are revising them. Follow the current affairs, follow the newspapers on a regular basis. You can supplement it with the current affairs magazine, but it is important that you follow the current affairs on a regular basis.
Okay, sir. So by observing your journey, I found that UPSC journey is really very brisk. So how did you handle the anxiety that during the preparatory phase of yours?
Yeah, but I had the self motivation within me. I know if I am able to clear the prelims somewhere, I'll
Hmm.
be able to clear the mains also. If I put in the efforts that are needed, I thought I could clear the examination. I had the trust in me. I had the trust in the process. That is, self motivation was very high within me. And I
Mhm.
also had my parents and my friends, my colleagues who constantly believed in me and who motivated me. So that motivation itself was something which kept the process, which kept me in the loop.
Okay, sir. So support is important. We
Yeah,
get that.
yeah,
We get that. So, but consistency, that is something that you have to make it, right?
yeah. But I
Consistency
didn't
is
make it
key.
so that only it has taken so much of years. I was
Yes, sir.
in, out. So people who are consistent can get it cleared in their first or second attempt. If they don't,
Yes, sir.
they end up taking much more time.
So how did you maintain the consistency?
As I said, I was not able to maintain the consistency. So in the last 2 years, again, I had to restart it, and I was
Mhm.
consistent only in the last 2 years. So that is why I was able to clear this attempt. So consistency is very important. Perseverance is very important, so that you clear it in a stretch. The prelims,
Yes.
mains, the interview.
Okay, sir. Uh, Thank you, sir. So before we end, so if you had to describe your journey in one simple sentence, what would it be?
In one simple sentence, I think it was a grueling journey, but in hindsight, it is something that I would cherish in my entire life. The preparation phase is something that I'm going to remember forever.
Okay, sir. So thank you for sharing your insights and your experiences. Congratulations, and we wish you all the best for your civil services career.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank you,
so
sir.
much.
Thank you.
I wish all the aspirants who are associated with Kalam IAS Academy to crack the exams, the upcoming prelims also, and get into the service.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Okay.